CNGA Sports here, making our third video. As you all know, the trade deadline is less than a week away, and things are getting really interesting with a lot of different players requesting to leave their teams, contracts coming up, a lot of teams, managers making decisions on where to put their top stars. So, to start off, I'm going to list some players for all of you guys, and we're just going to see what they say. So here we go. So guys, there's been a lot of speculation before the season started. Ryan Kesler, he said he wanted to get traded because, you know, we all know as fans that Vancouver is going down. We don't know they're going up, they're going down. So, I don't know, I'm not going to go around the room and ask everyone here. It's just maybe we're going to blurt stuff out. But where do you guys think Ryan Kesler's going to end up if he gets traded?
Could end up in New York, you never know. I don't know.
I know he's going to get traded. I don't know what team. I didn't really look too much into that, but they can trade him for a couple picks. I think that'll be good.
It's going to be a very difficult deal for some teams because Kesler has some injury problems that he has to take care of first. They might not be too happy to take down that contract.
Some teams might not want to take the risk with him, but I still say he gets traded though.
How much do you think teams would be willing to pay for him? Because he's a pretty solid forward, first line in Vancouver. So.
Maybe a role player and a late first rounder, somewhere along those lines. Vancouver wants some picks back, something like that.
Because he plays really good aggressive hockey, and whoever's going to the playoffs and they want to just pick him up for that stint, it'd be a good pickup because he works really hard and he's pretty aggressive in how he plays hockey.
Done with Kesler. We really don't know where he's going to go, but it's going to be interesting to see because he's one of those players there. I think he will want a lot of money, and the teams that have obviously the most comfortability and they have the most room for salary cap, I think that's where they're going to be asking for the most. Next guy on the market, Ryan Callahan, captain of the New York Rangers, buzzing all week. Where he's going to go? Where do you guys think he's going to end up?
I honestly think he's just going to stay in New York. I can't see that deal with St. Louis happening. And other than that, they haven't really brought up any other teams that he wants to go to. So, yeah.
I think maybe this could bring in a 3-team trade, possibly. You can have Kesler, Callahan, and St. Louis all involved in the deal.
That would be interesting.
I don't know. If Kesler does get traded, it'll be possibly to Tampa Bay for St. Louis, but I still think that they're going to try to sign him to a contract before they trade him.
Another guy, Vezina winner a couple years ago. He doesn't like his team, doesn't like being on Buffalo. Ryan Miller, where do you guys think he's going to end up?
I'd say he's going to either end up at St. Louis or, he can even end up possibly in Minnesota.
Yeah, my pick for be St. Louis. I said it last video. I think it's just the perfect fit there. Wants to go to a Stanley Cup contender. That's the place.
I think St. Louis too. They have 2 goalies that they can offer up, one or the other, and they probably have more assets to give Buffalo.
I honestly think St. Louis has so much talent that they could just give away. You have amazing goalies. Guy in the AHL, Jake Allen, he could be a backup in the NHL. I think if you give away, maybe get rid of Elliott, maybe get rid of, a young guy maybe you could get rid of Berglund and, Jake Allen or Brian Elliott, maybe get Ryan Miller, maybe you could get a pick in there, but I'm not sure. But, that would definitely be interesting.
They finish at where they are now, they'll probably get a late first-round pick, so you have a pretty big trade if it happens.
As well, the Devils this year have been all over the map, especially last season, they're making all these trades. They're getting a lot of older guys like Michael Ryder, Jaromir Jagr. Thank God for Jagr. He's killing it for them this season. But, there's a guy that stands out that wants to get traded. He's been a part of the franchise forever. Martin Brodeur. Do you guys think he's going to go anywhere? I personally don't think he's going to go anywhere. I don't even think he has a right to go anywhere. I think if you've been a part of that franchise for so long, I think it would be kind of disrespectful leaving at this age, really. What do you guys think?
I can't see him leaving New Jersey. He's been there for 20 plus years. He's the heart and soul guy there, and yeah, that's all I got to say.
Another guy, a really bad deal midway in the season, not maybe midway in November. Matt Molson leaving the Islanders, going to Buffalo. Vanek going to the Islanders. Do you guys think Matt Molson's not even going to have a season in Buffalo? Do you think he'll be traded at the trade deadline?
Most likely. The only problem is what Buffalo wants to get out of that deal. They seem to be asking pretty pricey for what Matt Molson is, I think, worth. You know, he played in the Islanders with Tavares, one of the best players in the NHL. He was producing. Now he's not producing as much. And, you know, if you want like a third-line role player and a first-round draft pick for Matt Molson, I think you're asking a little too much.
For Molson, I think he's going to want to go to a team that desperately needs scoring. It's Vancouver, LA. So if Buffalo does want picks, they already have 2 in the first round. So
potentially top 5 picks, yeah.
Most likely, I think. And maybe if they can get like another first out of a Vancouver, LA, and maybe another player back, I think that'd be a pretty good deal.
I think early on, Buffalo already hit the jackpot as it is. So once the trade deadline winds down a bit, I think they're going to try and give Molson for a less price. Right now, they're just overvaluing him, so some teams might pay it up. But I think he's going to be moving.
Now, one of the main things that's been going on since Ben Scrimmons going to Edmonton, they've been saying that they need D and they need goaltending. Obviously, their forwards are fine. They have Nugent Hopkins, Everly, Hall, Yakupov. You know, he's not having a good season, but I still think he'll be phenomenal. Just there's so much talent there, but you know, you have a guy like Cam Ward, and I think the manager in Edmonton, I think he really needs a goaltender. I think Cam Ward could end up in Edmonton. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's the perfect fit. Cam Ward, he's from Edmonton. You know, he's in the prime of his career. He hasn't been playing good the last couple of years due to injuries, but if he gets traded to Edmonton, I think he'll get a new fresh start and be good.
I think it'll be a good fit because, you know, he does have a little bit of season to him. After all, he has won a Stanley Cup. You know, he does have that little bit of an experience to help a young team like that, as young as they are, and I think, you know, he's a really good fit.
A couple more names to point out here. Michael Camilleri. He left Montreal because he did not like the way his team was playing. He goes to a team that's been struggling for the last couple seasons, Calgary. You know, he will probably he's probably going to ask for a lot of money if he goes anywhere. Where do you guys think Michael Camilleri could end up, or do you think he will end up staying and just being the guy that's getting paid like $6 million a year?
There are possibilities and rumors that I've heard of him ending up in New Jersey. Whether or not that's actually going to happen or not, you know, you don't know. But, you know, he could even possibly end up in a team like, I don't want to say Nashville, but, you know, it's possible. You know, scoring, suffering, they need scoring. He could provide that for them. But other than that, anything's possible.
I think he can end up anywhere because he's going to generate so much interest from so many teams. It's the last year of his contract. They won't have to worry about him for the next couple of years. And he's a great player still, so a lot of teams.
Who do you guys think would be the biggest buyers going into the trade deadline? You know, obviously, big factor, salary cap space. The more space you have, you know, you have some GMs that are like, okay, I'm just going to spend my money on you. Other GMs, not so much. Like we've said, Lou Lamoriello, he just got interviewed. They were saying that, yes, they're going to be definite buyers at the trade deadline. So like you said with Camilleri, maybe they're going to be looking, maybe not just for Camilleri, but maybe for another guy. So who do you guys think would be the top buyers?
Well, top buyers, you know, I see Edmonton being a big buyer, New Jersey, possibly even Vancouver. But the thing that, even if they don't have cap this year, some of the teams, next year, you know, the cap's going up a lot of money, which means they can sign more players or even certain players for more money. So, you know, if they're not going to sign someone now, they'll wait until the offseason, I think, to sign them.
My buyers would be the Vancouver Canucks. I think they're in terrible shape. They got to deal with Kessler and really who's only forward for them this season, most consistent forward, and I think Vancouver is going to make a splash.
I think Pittsburgh, with the cap going up next year, this is their time to really add to pieces to their team because Letang's going to be out. You don't know too much about Dupuis now. I think this is the time to add like a good star player to their team.
Last but not least, the last thing we're going to talk about in this video, trade deadline, you have a lot of rumors. Toronto Maple Leafs, we said in the first video, we just pointed out some names, mentioned some names. Dave Bolin, he wanted to say to the people how much he wanted to get paid. He told Dave Notice $5 million. They said they couldn't afford that. Do you guys think Dave Bolin could be gone?
You know, Dave Bolin, he's been rather clutch for the games that he has played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And, you know, maybe he isn't worth $5 million a year, but what he's bringing to the table for the Leafs when he's healthy and when he's playing really good hockey, he's a really important asset to this team. And I think it'd be a shame if they traded him away and not sign him.
Unfortunately, I don't think they'll sign Bolin. They already got the contracts with Kessel and Phaneuf and Riemsdyk and Lupul. They have a bunch of ridiculous contracts. I don't think they can afford Bolin. Although he's only played 15 games this year. People seem to forget that. 15 or 20 around there. But, yeah, he's...
I think they shouldn't trade him now. They should keep him for the playoffs and then maybe try to work something out in the offseason, maybe a bridge contract where he gets paid not $5 million, but in the range of $4.5 for 1 year. Or they can even trade his rights at the draft, because some teams do that. They can trade their rights, get a higher draft pick.
That's it. All right, guys, thanks for watching our video on the trade deadline. These were just some names we were mentioning. Do you think the names we mentioned are going to be the guys likely traded come March 5th? Thanks, guys, for watching. Comment, like this video, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, CNGA Sports. Thanks, guys, for watching. Take care. Thanks again.